Okay, so as some of you already know, I'm a full-time copywriter, I'm a full-time freelancer, and now I'm teaching other copywriters how to start their freelance business, how to make writing their career. And one of the things that's a challenge for me is kind of seeing what I did to become a full-time freelancer, to literally go from unemployed to full-time freelance, and kind of deconstruct that and work backwards and remember what I did to get there so I can teach other people. And one of the biggest mysteries, I think, or one of the biggest problems that I've had is trying to understand the advice that's coming at freelancers and copywriters from all these different people and seeing, okay, what are freelancers hearing that, doesn't resonate with me? It's not what I did to be, successful or to be full-time or to make a full-time living. And what I'm, really doing is seeing all the different advice out there. And I want to offer you what I did because, like I said, I went from unemployed with no experience in copywriting to actually being a full-time copywriter and really getting my foot in the door and building this from scratch with nothing. So I do think I have something to offer in that sense in terms of telling you what I did to get there. And what I want to tell you is, how to learn copywriting, because I get this question all the time, but I kind of shy away from it because I'm not really teaching other people how to copywrite. I teach people how to land clients so they can start copywriting for their own clients and build their full-time freelance business. The actual art of copywriting is not something I'm teaching right now at the current moment, and I know other people online are. And I think why this is so confusing for so many writers is that the first places they go to learn, okay, how do I copyright, is either books, or they, go to somebody who's teaching copywriting and they're very formula based. They say, this is the formula that you should use to copyright. And what was confusing for me was that I became a full-time copywriter and I didn't learn about what a copywriting formula was until I was really like a year in. And I'm like, well, all these people are saying that they use these copywriting formulas like ADA or ABC, like all of these acronyms to say like interest, whatever, that, these copywriting formulas. And I'm like, I don't use that. Why are people so reliant on these books and these formulas? And then, now where I'm at with having led this online course, teaching other people how to, build a full-time freelance business, I'm learning about the messages that you guys have received and the methods. That's one of the polls I always take is like, what have you gone to for information? Do you read books? Do you listen to podcasts? Which speakers do you listen to? And a lot of it is these books and these copywriting teachers. And here's the problem with that. These books, which I read, and these copywriting people who I really respect, they are teaching two things. They're teaching direct response copywriting. That's number one. And the second thing they're teaching is business owners how to write their own copy. So they're teaching direct response copywriting and they're teaching business owners how to write copy for their own product. And right now, if you're just starting out, you're neither of those things. You are not a business owner, in the traditional sense of having a product where you're trying to write sales pages for it. You are not a direct response copywriter, most likely, because that is a harder and it's a harder endeavor, and it's something you have to build up to. And that's writing Facebook ads. That is writing sales pages. Direct response copywriting is anything that calls the customer or the audience to take a direct action and buy something on the spot. The CTA, or the call to action, is always going to be buy now. That is direct response copywriting, and that is a bit more advanced. Okay, so I wrote a blog post or a social post the other day saying, stop reading these copywriting books, just create your own samples and start pitching clients, because you're going to get bogged down in all of this information about how to write sales pages and how to write ads. And that's not where copywriters typically start. So I live in the world of content marketing. That's how I got my foot in the door, and I'm still mainly a content marketing writer who builds brand awareness for my clients. So what I do is I write free content on behalf of my clients that provides value for their audience and more guides the customer or the buyer along the journey so that they can make their own decisions. So as where a direct response copywriter has a CTA that says buy now, that's never my CTA. My CTA is read more, learn more, and it directs the reader out to a blog post or a video or a case study or something that's more geared towards brand awareness and does not ask for a sale. So, like I said before, most advice out there tells you how to do direct response marketing, whereas most likely you're going to start out as a content marketer. One of the easiest ways to get your foot in the door as a writer is to write free content like blogs. Mind you, when I say free, it doesn't mean you're not going to get paid. It means that the company is, they have a set budget to create brand awareness content, and they're going to pay you to write that. They're going to pay you to write their blogs. Even the more direct response type writing that I do today, which is email. So I write email nurture sequences for my customers, which is, in layman's terms, that's basically an email marketing campaign. Even those emails that really want to drive clicks and they want people to take an action, my call to action is always learn more by reading this blog post, learn more by clicking this video. So part of the reason why that occurs is because I'm a B2B copywriter, meaning business to business. And in my online course, I talk a lot about the difference between a B2C copywriter and a B2B copywriter. I write in the B2B space, which means that the technology products that I write for, they are sold to businesses. And what that means is that there is no impulse buying, and the buy now button is not going to resonate with this audience because these are complex buying processes, meaning several stakeholders within a company have to be involved in this purchasing process. Buy now is not going to resonate. Most likely they're going to actually buy from a salesperson, and my marketing content and my writing is just going to really guide them to the point where they're ready to talk to a salesperson. It's a complex buying decision, which means that they are not going to make impulse buys, and buy now is not their CTA. Whereas direct response copywriting, it's really measurable and really tangible. It's writing a Facebook ad and seeing how many people clicked on that Facebook ad and bought this. And it's funny because I just took out paid ads for my, online course that I'm selling, that I, here I am putting out this free content for you. And I decided to write or create or take out whatever Facebook ads. It's paid advertising, right? This is direct response marketing. Even that advertisement that I wrote actually routed you guys out to my free cold pitch templates, meaning that whether or not you buy from me, you're going to get value from my cold pitch templates that you can download for free on my website. It's yours to have, and it's actually going to teach you something that you can put into action right away. It's not a hard sell. And what I did was actually I'm driving traffic to that cold pitch template. So this brings me to the second part and the most important part of all this. Okay, then what's the best way to learn copywriting? And I get this question all the time. How do I learn copywriting? First of all, that's kind of the wrong question, because I want you to focus on building your website, building your portfolio pieces, and marketing yourself and pitching clients so that you start copywriting for your clients right away and you don't get bogged down in all of this stuff about, oh, I need to learn this copywriting formula, I need to read this book, I need to do this and that. All of that's just going to slow you down. You want to start pitching clients as soon as you can, and it's going to go against everything you feel is right because you want to be prepared and you want to know what you're doing. Trust me, take action first and learn later in this situation, because I see a lot of people spinning their wheels and staying stuck because they want to do this perfectly, and you're not going to do it perfectly, so don't waste your time. So you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, fine, I'll create these sample pieces and I'll create my own portfolio so I can start pitching clients. But how do I do that if I don't know how to copywrite? Here's my answer for you. And I'm going to create something about this tomorrow or Wednesday. That's why I'm kind of like preemptively creating this. The best way to learn copywriting in the beginning, when you are creating pieces of content for your portfolio, is to look at what other people are writing, what other companies are writing, and model your work after that. That is the absolute easiest way to go about this. is to see what your ideal client, what their marketing material is. What blog posts are they publishing? What do their Instagram posts contain? What made you stop scrolling, and what made you click to read a blog post? If you pay attention to those things and try to model it, and mind you, not copy, right? We're not going to copy anyone, and we're not going to plagiarize anything. We're going to use that as inspiration. And this is a copywriting practice that people have been doing since the dawn, of this art, which is to, I'm a big fan of the show Mad Men, which is about like the ad era in the 60s or whatever. And Don Draper, the biggest like genius ad executive, would constantly throughout the show be ripping out ads that he saw from other advertising agencies and saving them, because it was all working in his brain to, create something of his own, something that was original. You're taking inspiration from so many different sources. So what I want you to do, instead of learning a copywriting formula that has an acronym, which I'm not saying they don't work, I'm just saying for these purposes, they might not really help you. Instead of, dwelling on these formulas, I want you to find a blog post or an Instagram ad or an Instagram post or a webinar or a video, and whatever it is you want to write, whatever companies you're passionate about. And I want you to create your own sample, pretend somebody assigned you this, and emulate or model the work after what you've seen online that seems to be working. It's not copying, it's modeling. So I know that was a mouthful. It's a little bit complex to distinguish between direct response copywriting and the world of content marketing. But in my opinion, if you want to go from zero to getting your own clients and running your own freelance business as a writer, the best thing to do is to find the brands that you care about and think about what their marketing needs are and start creating your own portfolio of pieces that you think would help these companies. And that's really fun. It's not a downer. It's not boring. It's you feel like you have a mission. You feel like in this portfolio creation process that you actually have a direction, which as a new copywriter, you're not going to have anyone assigning you anything at the current moment. So instead of looking at these direct response copywriting instructions or these books that are geared towards business owners, just find something that inspires you online and create your own sample. All right, thanks guys.